Pathetic,
Now, we are going to look at the game with Danny shortly, but people do tune in to get your thoughts on what went on. And let's be honest, a bit of masochism. They like an Andy. Are we going to get an Andy rant or not?
Well, not really. I mean, because this is what I expected. But, I said to you in pre-season, this is what Chelsea are going to be like this year. It's going to be a watching brief for me. I mean, they'll be lucky to achieve mid-season mediocrity. I mean,
they were great last week.
Yeah,
though,
but where
Andy?
was that desire? That's the problem with Chelsea. They're great against Tottenham. They're great against Liverpool in those finals, but they're not great against anybody else because they just turn up with a sort of strange attitude. I mean, just reminded me of old Chelsea yesterday. The days Dennis Wise would celebrate a 4-0 defeat at Leeds with Terry Venables at Scribes. Honestly, it was so inept. It was just hopeless, wasn't it? I'd make it that if you pass back to Mendy, it's a £10,000 fine.
Really?
I would. That's what I'd say to the players.
Wow.
If you pass back to him, it's a £10,000 because you cannot pass back to him. We all know that.
How many times has that happened then?
I've given. I think with him it's 6.
Right.
If you count the 2 against West Ham when he messed up Masuaka's goal at the end. But I mean, just going through, I think there's basically 7 goals Chelsea have gifted since the turn of the year to other teams, and it's the Premier League. You can't give teams a start. You can't. That game was really, honestly, nothing in it until Mendy did what he did. And of course, as soon as he did that, Leeds got all the momentum, the crowd got up, and then it was impossible for Chelsea after that. And it was just a stupid, but he does it all the time. It's all very well the manager saying, oh, well, it's just a mistake. We made a mistake. Well, you keep picking him. You've got a goalkeeper there that costs 70 million quid, that you're paying 170 grand a week, that when the other fellow went to the African Nations Cup, Chelsea went on a good run. If you're not prepared to drop anybody who's useless, what does that say to the rest of the squad? It's the same with the front players. We've had 3 games, the front players haven't scored a goal. But do the others get a look in? Do the others get a chance? No, because he just keeps picking the same team all the time.
Was Brozier fit yesterday?
No, he wasn't fit.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't help.
No,
does it?
but, I mean, it's just, there's something about the way he is that isn't right. I mean, it's just not right. I mean, he's so lucky Abramovich isn't there. He'd have been gone months ago. He wouldn't put up with this. It's absolutely hopeless, but unfortunately for Chelsea, that's why it's going to be a sort of, middling mediocrity of a season, because they've got no structure in place. They couldn't fire the manager now, even if they wanted to, because they haven't got anybody that knows how to appoint a manager. They haven't got anybody who knows anything about what's on the market and what it takes to manage this team.
How different would that team look with Fofana and probably Aubameyang up front? I mean, that would deal with a couple of your issues, won't it? Certainly.
Well, it might. But, he's already spent
that could be next
million.
week.
I mean, it's only taken Cucurella 2 weeks to join the Stamford Bridge finishing school. It's brilliant, isn't it?
Poor lad, he's only played twice.
But he had 2 glaring chances yesterday. But the worst one is Havertz. He drives me mad. Somebody on the Chelsea website was right. He said, Havertz plays like he's working from home. That's exactly what he's like. He just phones it in. He's useless. What's the point of the bloke? Like once every 10 games he might do something. He doesn't affect the game. You look at the strength of Haaland. You look at the way he holds players off. They play the ball up to
a slightly different build.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
he's a different kind of player, John, isn't he? Really? It's a hard comparison to make.
How often when Chelsea get thrashed, they'd go down to 10 men. What a ridiculous thing for Koulibaly.
That was a bit daft, yeah.
3-0 down. You just look at him, you think, you've paid a fortune for this bloke. Is he any better than Chalobah? I don't think he is he, by the look of it? I just don't get what's going on there. I don't understand it.
Sounded particularly optimistic.
I'd flog Mendy today, I would, or I'd certainly put him in the reserve. I'd say to him...
You mean sell him, I take it?
Yeah.
Although the way you're talking...
No, I mean sell him, not...
In the town square.
And Aubameyang, just what a team with the worst attitude in football need. Although apparently he's been all right at Barcelona.
Yeah, apparently. The manager knows him,
I've watched Ivan Toney sort of
on a regular
basis.
I was thinking that.
I mean, I think, how do big clubs not see how good this player is?
Yeah.
How do Chelsea think,
I agree.
why are they interested in Anthony Gordon? What good's that? You've already got a load of those.
Yeah.
But I'm blaming the manager, putting it fairly and squarely at his door, because they've got a lot of attacking talent, Chelsea, and he gets nothing out of it, be it his system, be it the way he picks them, be it the way they play. They're just massively underperforming, and they have been for a long time. They've taken 19 points from their last 13 games. I mean, that's like, finish 15th, 16th type form.
Yeah.
So it's not good enough. It's not going to be good enough. They'll put in performances when they have to, but which might affect other teams going for the title. But they will have no effect on the top 6 whatsoever this season.